have mold.
Students at SUNY Old Westbury shouting, "We have mold," loud enough to tell Albany. Dozens marching across campus to demand funding to better control mold like this in dorm rooms, growing on their clothing, mattresses, ceiling tiles. Persistent mold they fear is making them sick.
And right now, 80% of the rooms here have mold.
It's the most insane inconvenience. I have tests tomorrow. Everything's going to have to be reshuffled. That now is not the time for something this big.
I had kind of a little bit of a cough. My eyes have been itchy and watery, and you feel unhealthy and you feel like really, unheard, because I'm telling them that this is an issue. My parents are telling them, and they're really not doing anything.
Joy says her doctors believe her headaches, earaches, and sinus infection were triggered by severe mold exposure.
Every time she jumps in here and steps on the floor and runs the AC, she's just breathing it.
Mold expert Hansel O'Halloran says he found extreme levels of toxic mold in the carpets of her vehicle.
This should never happen to anybody.
The Pollock's daughter, Rachel, also developed asthma due to the mold growth. Her doctor connected the asthma to the exposure to Aspergillus. An air quality and mold test of the home revealed an exact match between her disease and the mold growing inside the house.
And Luca developed a cough and constant runny eyes. After the appointment, she put him down for a nap that he'd never wake up from.
They came in a black van. They were all wearing white suits. They told us that it was hazardous to stand on our porch while they emptied all the stuff out. But we're made to live next to it. This is what we breathe every day, and you guys are going in there in suits.
2-year-old Ellie suffers from chronic respiratory problems that require her to undergo this doctor-prescribed treatment every day. So if mold spores are spreading from the air, it's hurting her condition.
I saw what was a giant collection of mold right around the base of the floor and the carpeting.
She was concerned because at just 5.5 months old, her son had been suffering from a variety of respiratory infections that seemed to never go away.
I'd like for no other families to experience what we've dealt with. I would like for no other children to suffer the way that my kids have suffered.
How many of you all have had mold in your homes? How many of you all have been displaced from your home? How many of you all have had you or your family members have health complications because of issues in your home?
Every time my kids get a stuffy nose, they start coughing, wheezing, the first thing I do is I pull up the vents. I check my HVAC system. Do we have mold yet? It's not, do we have mold? Do we have mold yet?
Daughter has been complaining about her throat. She had a rash all along side of her face, and she's just had this dry cough. It's barking.
Watery eyes, stuffy nose, rash on her face, and a sore throat.
When you get the email talking about the mold, what's your first reaction?
This is what's causing it.
Within the 3rd week of school, he started having chronic coughs.
Pam and Dan Needham are yanking their 8th grade son out of Plato Academy's Largo campus. He has chronic upper respiratory problems. Doctor's orders.
There is a major problem that they're trying to cover up. We simply have lost all trust.
Mr. Ross, address you for a moment. You stood up and you talked about how much money things were going to cost. My child's health is priceless.
We're discussing the mold problem.
And I am discussing the mold problem. I am a healthcare professional. I see sick people every day, and this is a disgrace.